Well, this is really, really depressing. It really, really is. Um, Channel 4, something that was created by Margaret Thatcher, of all people, to be a publicly owned station that doesn't receive any public money, but funds itself entirely through its own commercial operations. Channel 4 is not going bankrupt. It had, I think, the profits, I think, from last year were about, 73, 74 million pounds. There is no reason to privatise this on grounds that it's not sustainable or it's bankrupt. That argument is not there. It makes money. Then you've got the argument for employment. Over 140 different businesses up and down the country rely on Channel 4 to be there for them. Of those businesses, about 70, I think it's like 73, 74% of their profits are based on them basically Channel 4 existing as it does now. So that could be hundreds of thousands of jobs, because you don't know how many jobs those companies are attached to. But my word, the fallout from that could be catastrophic for our creative industries. And let's get this straight: the only reason Channel 4 is being privatized is it's Nadine Dorris's plan, because 6 months ago she didn't even know that Channel 4 received no public money, in a very, very embarrassing, quite frankly, Commons in a select committee appearance. I definitely recommend you all go watch it. It's quite hilarious, her response. But this is going to be very bad for the UK, as this is being done as a very vindictive move. Over the past, 10 years, really, especially Channel 4 News has been the news show, the only news broadcaster to really, really hold the government to account over their actions and what they have been doing. And of course, I don't agree with everything that Channel 4 has ever done. I think that Benefit Street was poverty porn, and I highly disagree with obviously with that programming, the way it was done and the way it was presented. But ultimately, there's so much that Channel 4 has contributed to the British culture in all these years that it's existed. And now to sell it off for essentially purely petty vengeance reasons, because they don't like being, shall we say, held to the fire for, is pathetic. And of course, the distressing thing, of course, is that Channel 4 may be sold off to maybe Rupert Murdoch. Who knows who's going to end up buying it? But ultimately, this could potentially become the Fox News of the UK. That is, unfortunately, the depressing future of Channel 4 and the direction that it will go. But before we do that, we're just going to go into some of the reactions that some people have had, because I think the disgust for this is widely being broadcast and definitely being shared today. I hope this gets fought against and gets defeated, because this really needs to be defeated in Parliament. That's why, again, I put up this morning a link to go and sign a petition. So if you are in the UK, do go sign it. Channel 4 is very, very important to us. So go and sign it. But there are just some of the stuff that where we are. I mean, I can't even really put into words how disappointed I am that this is happening. And remember, it's only happening because of the pushback that the government has had against from Channel 4 News. Remember, Channel 4 News was denied asking questions just, I think, 2 years ago at the start of the pandemic, because again, Boris didn't want to answer their questions. So ultimately, this is sad. This is really depressing. This is going to do nothing but hurt the British, the British cultural economy and creative industries based here in the UK. And there's going to be nothing left to pick up the slack. And even if it does get sold off, no government can come back and just say, we're going to make it public again. I don't think the government, any future government, could undo this decision, which is, again, really depressing. It's not like Royal Mail, where they could sort of, bring it back into public ownership and unprivatise it. At least from the way that, as sort of I've read it, I may be wrong on that, but yeah. Overall, this is just really depressing. It really, really is. Channel 4, as I keep on telling people, the BBC and Channel 4 are just as important institutions to protect. And don't get me wrong, if they succeed in privatizing Channel 4 and selling it off, then the BBC will be next. And remember, both Channel 4 and the BBC have massive public influence and outreach. And these outlets being owned by private interests who are going to use it to ultimately pump propaganda into the British newsosphere is very, very, very worrying. You only have to look at Hungary recently, with, again, Viktor Orban winning, again, a fourth term. You need good, reliable news outlets telling people the truth of what's going on to have a functional democracy. And ultimately, whoever Channel 4 gets sold to, ultimately their news output will drastically turn. I can guarantee you that. There will be a massive turn. And ultimately, Channel 4 will start pumping out possibly government propaganda, maybe more conservative stuff. This is why you've seen news outlets like GB News celebrate the privatizing of it, because it's like, oh, look how well we're doing. Well, if you saw recently, GB News lost millions of pounds in its first couple of weeks, even before it opened and started broadcasting. But as I've said before, GB News is being so funded to not fail. It will do everything it can to essentially not fail. And that's what it is doing. And don't get me wrong, all that stuff on GB News will just be planted into whatever, entity takes over Channel 4. And that's the unfortunate, sad reality. So it has to be fought, definitely. And we have to hope that this gets defeated in Parliament. Of course, unfortunately, this is a major Tory drive to privatise things. And as I've said before, in cases like this, where the Tories have such a large majority, they can get a lot of stuff through very easily, unless there is a very significant rebellion. So, as we have seen in the past, we have to act now. We have to start campaigning. We have to force the government into a U-turn before they even decide to bring this through properly. And I think it can be done. We just have to join together. And hopefully today is going to be the start of fight back to essentially try and save Channel 4 and keep it in public ownership. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, do have a look at my channel to sign the petition to, again, save Channel 4 and keep it in public ownership. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.